Peter Obi, the national leader of Labour Party and the former presidential candidate in the last election, has said that Nigeria has become a captured state. Speaking on his verified X handle, he said, quote, "As we join the global community to commemorate International Democracy Day today, we remind ourselves as a nation of the need to uphold the tenets of democracy. These include free speech, observance of civil liberties, and the rule of law. It also includes the upholding of the ideals of democracy that are embedded in ensuring accountable institutions and the protection and promotion of human rights. Democracy in Nigeria has continued to suffer untold setbacks, heavily burdened by leadership failure, which has brought about uncontrolled systemic corruption, high levels of insecurity, lack of freedom of speech, increasing poverty, and unprecedented levels of hunger and hardship. These problems have not only remained unsolved but are growing geometrically. The democratic ideals of the nation have, sadly, continued to erode with time, and today we can be classified as a captured state where the citizens have continued to suffer untold hardship, deprivation, and insecurity while the political leadership feasts on state resources. In every measurement of true democracy, we have continued to rank low and perform badly, signaling a critical deficiency in our democratic system. With a democracy index score of 4.23, Nigeria ranks low on the Global Democracy Index and in other indices of democracy. In the Corruption Perception Index, we are ranked 145th among 180 countries measured, showing a high level of corruption in Nigeria. In the rule of law measurement, we are ranked 120 out of 142 countries measured in the World Justice Project Rule of Law Index, showing that Nigeria suffers from gross disobedience to the rule of law. The 2024 World Press Freedom Index by Reporters Without Borders described Nigeria as one of West Africa's most dangerous and difficult countries for journalists. Freedom of speech is grossly suppressed and citizens are gagged from expressing their civic rights. On a day like this, may we pause and examine our democratic journey as a nation and strive to build our nation on the solid rock of true democracy, where every Nigerian is given a voice and a fair hearing, irrespective of tribe, religion, or political affiliation." Unquote. This is well articulated by Peter Obi as usual. Summarizing the speech wouldn't have done justice to it because he backed everything with data. Are we going to talk about the judiciary? People that have lost their pride. Back in the day, justices of the Supreme Court, of the Appeal Court, even High Court judges were proud of their profession. Most judges from that generation would have found it very insulting that a president or any other superior officer wants to order him around and tell him how to decide on any matter before him. When the Constitution guarantees that a judge is independent, they belong to an independent arm of government. So no one has the right to tell him how to decide on any matter, even if the person is offering money. That was the level of pride they had at the time. But today, all that pride is gone. Judges now bribe their way to be appointed to different courts in Nigeria. So when they subject themselves to that level, that means the appointing officers now have powers over them. They can order them around, they can just drop peanuts, and they do whatever they want. That is practically why the Nigerian society has collapsed. Yes, you can be harassed by the police, the army, anyone. You can't run to anywhere to get justice. That's why they harass people and get away with anything. They've become lawless. Even if you end up going to that court, how are you sure that the judge will not deliver judgment in favor of your oppressors, despite the fact that you have all the evidence that you were harassed by these people? So this is why there is no more confidence in the judiciary arm of government in Nigeria. And once that confidence is gone, you've practically lost everything, because even investors will not come. How are they going to save their investment if there's problem? They encounter problems on the way and they go to court to seek justice, they won't get that judgment in court because the courts are already compromised. They take peanuts and deliver justice to the highest bidder. This is also why corruption is endemic in Nigeria, like P2B said in the statement. Many corrupt politicians know that they have the courts in their pocket. So while they loot money, they always keep the ones they will use to settle the judges. It's called settlement. They will just offer them bribes and they will deliver judgment to their favor. And some of these judges are shameless. They don't even care how ridiculous their statements, the judgment they delivered in favor of criminals. Imagine a judge accepted that a governor who is sitting today forged an NYSC discharge certificate, but the reason for not disqualifying him from the election is because he said that the NYSC certificate is not a requirement to contest for governor. How ridiculously shameless can a judge be? Imagine that, when the law says that anyone vying for political office that submits a forged document stands disqualified, but the judge still found a loophole based on technicality and allowed the man to get away with forgery. So the lawlessness and impunity that goes on in Nigeria today can be traced back to the justice system. They don't allow corrupt people to be held accountable. The highest motivation a criminal needs is the fact that he knows he is going to get away with the crime. Even if he's caught by the police, there's a very high chance that the justice system will free him because of corruption of judges. So imagine when he knows that he will be freed, so he can commit any sort of crime because he knows nothing will happen to him. Reverse the situation, assuming criminals are aware that they will never get away with any crime. That will make many people to think twice before committing a crime. This is exactly why politicians today, they steal money with impunity. They will even brag to your face, you can't do anything. And you cannot do anything, truly, even if you have evidence. In fact, in most cases, they will arrest the whistleblower and allow the criminal to get away. One journalist revealed that a pure water factory in Sokoto was producing pure water without NAFDAC registration. And do you know what the government did? They arrested the journalist after he was assaulted by the company staff. No one knows the true situation today, whether he's still in detention or he has been charged. The story goes on and on. Many journalists are constantly harassed and invited for doing nothing, for just revealing corruption. So imagine if the judges are doing their jobs the way they are supposed to do. In this situation, this journalist would have approached the court and he will be awarded serious damages that the company must pay. Not only that, NAFDAC will be forced to fine the company. In fact, they might be closed down because they are operating without a license. And if the justice system consistently enforces the rights of Nigerians, the law enforcement agents will be forced to stop their impunity because the government can't continue to pay penalties and damages to individuals who they abuse their rights. In fact, in many cases, they will be forced to sack such individuals. That will mean that law enforcement agents will stop abusing the rights of Nigerians. So you see how important the justice system is. And if we look back about a year ago, you can see that all the hardship and suffering Nigerians are facing today can be traced back to the justice system. Yes, they enabled all these failed politicians. These failed politicians have now imposed failed policies on Nigerians, and as a result, everyone is suffering. Thanks for watching.